It took me a while to get that shut off. Hi, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And again, because the shortwave bands are, well, not too good, I'm down in my workshop, and I'm using my setup where I have SDR Sharp running with a scanner plugin. And I've showed you this before. It is pretty cool. It's a little difficult to get set up, but once you get it set up, it's pretty cool. And if you go back to my show number, what number is it? 1184. 1184, I demonstrate what I've got here. And again, I'm on one of my older computers down in my workshop. I'm using my RTL-SDR dongle, and it's connected to a Radio Shack discount antenna, which is about 12 to 15 feet in the air. And right now, I have it set up to scan the UHF business band, or one of the UHF business band. And it's around 452 to 460, 55. And there's usually a lot of activity in the mornings. This is 7:30, so it's just getting busy. And with this scanner plugin, you can turn your RTL into an actual scanner. So it's scanning, it's scanning that band I've selected. And down here is where the app is, or the option is, or the plugin is. And here's a bunch of bands that I've set up. And you just go down here and you configure a new band. You give it a name. You tell it where you want it to start and end and some other parameters. And then you select it. And then you start scan. I've already started. And it will scan that. And you give it, excuse me, some parameters as far as when you want it to pause on a frequency. In other words, how high the signal is before it stops scanning. I don't remember the exact numbers that I set up, but down here, the red line is when it opens the squelch. It stops scanning and stays on that frequency, and it will stay there until it drops down to the yellow line. And I think here you can set the delay before it gives up, like for 5 seconds or whatever. So I'm scanning that band right now. You can see there's some pretty big signals. Now, it sometimes, because there's a lot of noise on this band, it sometimes will get stuck on noise or some data signal. And you will see some big signal out there, but it doesn't go to it because it's stuck on another one. And you can use these parameters here, these options here, to stop it completely, to pause it, to scan to the next frequency and stuff like that. Or while it's scanning, like here's a huge signal right here and there's one right here, you can just click on that signal. We turn the audio back on. And now, and then the other thing is, let me stop it for a second because I got some more babbling to do. The other thing is, on the business band, it's not continuous transmissions. So it's just a short burst, maybe up to 15 seconds, and then they stop transmitting, and the scanner option or plug-in will continue on unless you've clicked on a frequency. If you've clicked on a frequency, it'll stay there until you still scan again. So I'm going to turn the audio back up. And we're going to listen to the one that keeps coming up over here. Right there. And you can see it's all over the place. Still scanning. So I didn't grab it yet. And the other thing is you can specify the rate at which it scans, because right now I'm not able to keep up with it. And I thought if I clicked on it, it would stop, but it doesn't. I don't know why it's not. Operator error, I'm sure. Try down here. Nope, it's still scanning. So I've clicked on it, and I can come down here and I can say, okay, pause. Now it's not going to scan. Now I can listen to that big signal there, and it's probably noise or data. Yeah, it's data. So nothing interesting there. So let's try one over here. Now that I've got it paused. More data. Another one here. Typically when you see it continuous, it's either some pattern or it's data. So forget those. You need to find the ones that are just short and burst.
All of those drivers will be sent
There we go.
into the vantage point condominium complex.
What the heck is that?
Before the gate, and then continuing up to the next light where they can merge into the mainline roadway. The cars that you see here in these two lanes, those are drivers that are eastbound on Dandy on the elevated center section. They're whittled down to a single lane when you get to the actual street. So it's a really tough spot through there. I do want to recommend for drivers that use 4th Street that you try this instead. 4th Street north to 83rd Avenue. 83rd Avenue will go past Wheaton Island, connect there with San Martin Boulevard, and then you'll be on Dandy past the track and across the bridge from there. That's going to be a much better way to go than waiting in all of that traffic. The other thing we've been watching is here.
Now that is a traffic report. It's probably a helicopter flying overhead from one of the local TV stations, maybe radio stations. They're talking about St. Petersburg, which is close to me, and it's at 450.587.5 or something like that. And that's the kind of things you can get. And I don't know if I'm picking up the transmission from the helicopter, I think it's a helicopter, or the broadcast from the station. Let me go back and let you listen to it.
They've had quite a bit. Now, at least at the moment, it's not raining across 19 in Citrus County. At the moment, there are still some thunderstorms offshore that can come onshore. But checking it out right now, everything is moving toward the northeast, and we're still seeing pop-ups all over the Gulf that are moving on toward the coast. Polk County will still have to wait probably a couple more hours before you get the rain chance, but there are plenty of places already seeing it closer to the coast. So let's check out right now Pinellas and Hillsborough. We have some thunderstorms here coming right past St. Petersburg, Shore Acres. They're weakening, but there's still some lightning strikes nearby McDill going in towards South Tampa. Some more pop-ups here right around the I-4 and 75 interchange there, so that will continue to move northeast and might affect areas near Plant City. We also have rain in North Pinellas coming in from Tarpon Springs and moving over into northwest Hillsborough County, but you're also seeing that into Pasco as well, where those heavy downpours are along US 19 here, from Arapika, Hudson, Bayonet Point down to Jasmine Estates, with that rain moving onshore. Not a lot of lightning, but certainly heavy downpours in those spots. Into Manatee County, there have been a few pop-ups here. One moving out of the county in towards southwestern Hillsborough, but I expect some more popping up near the beaches as well. So that is how our morning is going. So you see a little sun, and then you see these taller clouds where the showers keep developing. Karen got this view from Indian Rock Beach where those are popping up. Tarpon Springs camera right now, and we're looking here eastward over Lake Tarpon, and you see all those clouds with the downpours coming in on our Dimmick Chevrolet camera, but underneath you'll see a little sunrise. So as for temperatures, 282 in Tampa, where nothing has cooled you down right at the airport anyway. 81 in St. Petersburg and 82 in Bradenton. So our forecast here, we'll get up to temperatures right around 90 for the day, a little cooler north with more cloud cover there, but the scattered showers and storms.
Okay, I'm not sure what this is. It does sound like a local TV station, and what you heard at the beginning was probably transmissions from a helicopter, or the thing is, local TV now is, I thought, all digital. So I shouldn't be able to hear this because this is an analog signal. So I'm not sure what it is. Let me go back to it and maybe they'll give a station name or something.
Low down to 98, even Las Vegas at 94 to start. So you know it's going to be hot. The 7-day and tropical update will be up in the next 10 minutes. Now here's 5 Sun 9.
You're watching Tampa Bay's only 24-hour news station.
Oh.
Spectrum Bay News 9. News, weather, now.
Oh, that's Bay News 9. I believe what that is one of the cable stations has a channel in which it's 24-hour news and weather and traffic reports. That's all the channel is. And it's called Bay News. Again, I don't know why I'm receiving this analog signal, because I don't think they're analog TV anymore. So they may have this analog feed of the audio that's being broadcast 24/7. I wrote this down in my logbook, so I'm going to look at this some more later in the day and see if I can figure out, or look it up on the FCC license website and see if I can figure out what that is. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is I wanted to go back to this option. It's a plug-in for SDR Sharp, and I'm just using the RTL SDR dongle. You can use many types of dongles with this software. If you go back to my show 1184, I show you a little bit more about this plugin. One of the things I want to try is I want to try the least expensive dongle I can find. If I can find one for $10 with free shipping, I'll order it and I'll see if it's any good. I've got probably 2 dozen dongles or SDRs in some form. And the one I was trying this morning is a real cheapo one that I got a long time ago. I think it was $15 back then. And it worked okay. And the thing is, even the cheaper ones will work on VHF and UHF pretty darn good. They won't work on HF, even with some of these softwares that have conversions that'll put it in different modes. Typically, when you put it in those different modes, the HF is not that good if the dongle was not designed for that. So the $15 one I tried this morning, and it had a problem with the connector. I couldn't get the cable to stay in the connector that came with it. So I gave up on that one and went to this one. So anyway, that's what I want to show you. These are some alternate things you can listen to when shortwave bands are not very active. Doesn't cost much. The software is off. 99% of the software is free. And I've shown you many of the software packages. This is the one that has these plugins, and it gives you all kinds of features when you add the plugin. Now, it's not as easy to add the plugin to this guy as other ones have the options already built in. I think this still is the only one that will do this kind of scanner activity. I don't know if any other ones will do that. Maybe they are, and I just haven't discovered it. If you've discovered it, like for instance, SDR console is, you basically install the software, the version 3 software, and you select your dongle or your SDR, and there you go. There's no drivers or anything to install. I don't think it has a scanner option. This is pretty neat. This basically gets you back to old days when you were using an analog scanner radio. But now you're using an SDR, you get this visualization effect. You can see what the signals are doing. Like the signal we're looking at right now is active all the time. Let me zoom in, see if I can go the right way here. So there it is. I seem like I'm pretty well tuned in, maybe off a little bit. I'll have to look this up and find out what this is. Anyway, if you have any questions or any comments or anything you want me to look at, just leave me a comment, or you can send me an email to trrs73@gmail.com. I'm going to turn some fans on. It's hot down here in my workshop. Bye-bye.